Salute to everybody in here. Tap the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Today we got the transcripts of the ex parte hearing from Honorable Earl D. Glanville. Yes, sir. Tap the like button. Yeah. I don't know if y'all already went over this. Some of y'all might have already read through it. But let's see what we got. I just got it. I just got it. What's up with y'all? Y'all in here? Put something in the chat. Hold up. Hold up. Put something in the chat. Let's rock. Hold up. How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing? What kind of crowd we got in here tonight? We got a tough crowd. Tap the like button. We got a tough crowd. What we got in here? A tough crowd. LaDana Salute. D. Scott. Waiting for somebody to post a transcript. I see people just start posting it like about 2 hours ago. Yeah, salute though. We about to rock. I got y'all. Hold on. I was doing something. All right, you see what time it is. On behalf of the state, Adrian Love and Simone Hilton, Caleb Bumpus, on behalf of Kenneth Copeland. Ho, ho, ho. All right, so what we doing is we're going over the transcript of the ex parte hearing in the chambers of Honorable Earl D. Glanville on June 10th, 2024. Now, if you're not familiar, this is from the YSL RICO trial. This is the ex parte meeting with Woody in the back that Brian Steele was upset about, and they had their little falling out, and then Brian Steele got sent to the clink for a little bit, but then he got let out. This is the transcripts of allegedly what was said back there in the quote-unquote star chambers when they had Woody back there. So let's see. As you can see, on behalf of the state, Adrian Love, Simone Hilton. On behalf of Kenneth Copeland, Caleb Bumpus. Last name is crazy. The ex parte hearing began at 9:10 a.m. Present in chambers was Judge Glanville, Assistant District Attorney Adrian Love, and Attorney Caleb Bumpus, Court Reporter Christina Weaver, and investigators Antonio Long and Rashid Hamilton. Okay, I'm ready when you are. Miss Love, thank you. The concern that we wanted to bring to the court's attention as the state was twofold. One, we wanted to have the opportunity to impress upon Mr. Copeland with representation present that he faces. And we wanted to give him an opportunity to ask whatever questions he wanted to ask before he was sort of blank. We had to pull him in the courtroom when the jury came out. What? All right. I'm reading it as it's typed, y'all. So don't be confused. The second concern that I have is, and I wanted to bring to the court's attention in line with the concern that I expressed on the record on Friday, I don't know what advice counsel may have offered or may be offering. That is their right and their business. As it relates to testifying, however, I do not believe that criminal exposure is a concern that is blank, which interest is being spoken about and protected. So I'm assuming these spaces are redactions, y'all. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if y'all know about that, but it's looking tricky. Mr. Melnick relayed to Miss Hilton on Friday that he had never heard of the statute 24-5-507. And on Friday, he sent an email. I don't know if he intentionally copied Mr. Steele and Mr. Sharp. I don't know if he unintentionally put my name on it, but he sent an email to Mr. Steele and Mr. Sharp with me and Simone copied where he said, "This is the communication that I received from Miss Love regarding Mr. Copeland." My response was, "Whose interest are you protecting? yours or Mr. Steele's? Whose clients? Which client are you protecting? Whose client? Yours or Mr. Steele's and Mr. Shard's? He wrote back and said, you're going to get him killed. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, we got the fire. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna do this right. Look how I'm ready to do this. Hold on. Yeah. Make sure I get this. Boom. You are making him a target. Whoa. F you is what he wrote in the email. So Melnick flipped out on Love and claimed that you're going to get what he smoked. You are making him a target. So they redacted something, y'all. These two spaces, they redacting stuff. Because that's not even we talking about people writing messages. People don't type like this in messages. Or what would it be quoted from? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, though. So given that his concern is that by testifying, at least the one that he conveying to me in writing, it's not blank. His concern has nothing to do with exposure from the state. And if his concern, the court, his being whose concern? Miss Love, Mr. Melnick. If the interest that he is protecting is Mr. Copeland's freedom, he did not convey it by asking us what exposure does he face in testifying. In fact, if he's concerned that testifying will get Mr. Copeland smoked and he is not communicating with us, he's communicating with counsel for defendants. It would seem that he knows a thing or something that we don't know. Additionally, and I will let Ms. Bumpus tell you, he has said if Mr. Copeland testifies, he's no longer representing Mr. Copeland, which is strange because if your interest is your client, then it would seem you would want to be there for him while he is testifying. Whoa. That's interesting. The lawyer say if what he testify, he don't even want to rock with you no more. What y'all think about that? Let me know in the comment. Ooh. Well, he is on vacation this week. I understand. That is why he has Miss Bumpus here. And he has said what he has said. And as I was reading the statute, I was reading the statute about this particular situation. And I was reading our rules, our ethic rules, rules of conduct for attorneys. And it is clear that if an attorney, there were two things that were happening. Yeah, they redacting stuff, y'all. One, Mr. Melnick had told me that he wasn't Mr. Copeland's lawyer. Mr. Copeland had told me Miss Hilton that Mr. Melnick wasn't representing him. And then rather than Mr. Copeland reaching out to Mr. Melnick apparently was in communication with Mr. Steele and Mr. Shard. And Mr. Melnick reaches out to Mr. Copeland and injects himself in these proceedings. So Ms. Love is saying that Melnick wasn't even his lawyer. What we were discussing was in no way a matter, but mind you, did Woody even need a lawyer? And wasn't he confused? Like, I don't even need a lawyer. Like, what I need a lawyer for? It was like he was confused. Like someone had appointed Melnick. Real rap, y'all. Something wasn't right about the whole shenanigans. Ag Cope, what up? What we were discussing was in no way a matter that Mr. Melnick was representing Mr. Copeland on. And that is where we are not allowed to speak with a person when they are represented by counsel. Mr. Melnick could not have been representing Mr. Copeland on anything we were talking about because we were talking about this case and this trial. All that aside, we would like an opportunity for the court to address Mr. Copeland with Mr. Copeland's stand-in counsel present. Miss Bumpus is looking at me like, Miss Bumpus, I'm listening. Miss Love, with his stand-in counsel present and to allow Ms. Bumpus an opportunity to explain to Mr. Copeland everything that I have just said. Her concern outside was what is the longest he can stay in jail. What I relayed to her is the statute says until he purges the court by testifying. Miss Love, his contempt by testifying. Yo, they really redacting stuff. The court, yeah, 507 is a little bit different. So I mean blank. Ms. Bumpus. So until the end of this, the court, he can be here until the end of the trial, Ms. Bumpus. That is what I said. To the end of the trial is the longest. Miss Love, no, it's not the longest. Even after a grand jury. If a person has been subpoenaed to testify before the grand jury, and even after the grand jury has convened, has left, that person can stay in until that person purges himself of contempt by testifying. The statute literally says that. Ms. Bumpus, well, I'm going to look it up because it was my understanding that it was until the end of trial. Miss Love, nope. Here it is, literally the words of the statute. And so, the court, he could be in there a while. Let's put it that way. Either way. What? Ms. Bumpus, I just want to be able to give him, whoa, blank. I know. It's kind of the statute says, that you purge, but I can't keep him in there indefinitely. I've got to kind of blank. Ms. Bumpus, right. That is all I want to know. The court. The whole thing is that he can blank. He has the keys to his own freedom. And that freedom is if he just gives his testimony, then he purges it. They really don't care about that that boy's safety at all. Like, they just throwing it around. Like, just get him to testify and he'll be all right. But in reality, like, what about his life? Supposedly, the dashes are not redactions. You think it's just pauses. Bro, this is terrible. Nah, I don't care what none of y'all say. I don't care what none of y'all say. This ain't everything they was saying, bro. I didn't listen to all of these people talk. They don't talk like this. What is y'all talking about? I know every person in here. None of these people don't talk unfinished sentence like this. Stop playing with me. Y'all tried. Y'all just tried. Y'all see how they just try to play with me? Y'all know how much reading and listening I do? Nah, bro. Now, every one of them dashes might not be no redaction, but you try and tell me this is fully what they were saying, and all them sentences and them chops ups I was just doing. You know what I do? Like, so who you? So think about it before you jump out there when you talking with me. Straight up. Straight up, bro. Like, these people don't talk like that. Miss Love don't talk like that. That judge don't talk like that. And Kayla Bumpus wasn't talking like that. Shorty was completely finishing each and every one of her sentences. And when they, I know the nuances of how people talk. Breaths, pauses, someone restarting, rephrasing themselves. Come on, bro. I ain't saying that ain't what this is at some points, but something ain't right here. Let's come on. Come on. Let's get this right before people just come in and just try to tell me, oh, yeah, you just don't know what you're talking about, bro. That's just really, yeah, bro. Really? That's what we doing? People don't realize how they speak until they say, no, that doesn't play. Bro, why you saying, yo, you don't even be here talking, bro? Like, why you gonna sit here and mislead these people right here, bro? I don't care what Bumper said on another show, bro. Don't come in here with that, boy. Stop. Chill. Tap the like button. Salute to everybody in here. I ain't with that. I ain't with none of that. I'm reading the transcripts right now. I don't care what Shorty did on a promotional run, unless you understand how media work and smoke and mirrors. But fuck you for coming in here with that bullshit. Straight wrong with straight like that. Tired of niggas keep coming in with that bullshit ass narrative about what bitches said in their interviews. Fuck you and them corny ass interviews, and I'm tired of telling you bitch ass niggas. Give a fuck about them interviews, nigga. I'm reading the paperwork, bitch. Fuck what Shorty said. Get her dick out your mouth. Now, how about that? Fuck wrong with you? Niggas just don't listen. Niggas keep trying to interject what the fuck somebody's saying in media. Give a fuck about that. Now, what's up, Motley? standing on shit. Niggas be whole clowns. I don't give a fuck about what that bitch said unless she coming in here to holler. Straight up, bitch. Won't you quote something that I done been in here saying? How about that? Until niggas do that, fuck you niggas. Keep popping up. That bitch, matter of fact, I'm more popular than that bitch, bro. So if y'all motherfuckers ain't popped up in the chat and quoted something I done said that's more fucking pertinent to this damn trial, to be honest, and I ain't even patting myself on the back. I'm really talking like, nigga, I hold more weight in this motherfucking trial than Shorty. Shorty's a proxy, a representation for a fake moment in the trial, bro. Stop playing, bro. What you talking about? Come on, bro. Straight up, bro. Like, we getting that a little bit too far, bro. This shit crazy. We really gonna go into this bitch done been on an interview, so she ain't a lawyer no more. She done turned into a goddamn podcaster. And that can't be the truth if you really get busy with law. You gotta be busy. So when the fuck you got time to show up not with your hair done on some podcast or some shit? Like, come on, bro. Come on. And that's what we doing with black women as lawyers. So that's what we doing. Black women as lawyers gonna pop up and just go on some old just runs promoting what? That she sends black men to jail on a normal basis and she works on that side of the law, and this time they got her caught up, but she's cool with Woody, who is a fucking problem in society, and this bitch don't know how to dress professionally going into a courtroom in front of the camera with a goddamn Beatles wig on and tell that bitch I said it. Fuck wrong with her little ratchet ass. Don't ever take your little bell pepper head ass on TV with that motherfucking wig on, boy. Fuck wrong with her. Now you run back and tell her that. Fuck. Since we want to keep bringing this bitch up. Bitch looking like John Lennon in the courtroom, that belt, motherfucking dumbass wig on, boy. Embarrassing our black women out here that went to school and did something with themselves. Fuck wrong with her. Straight up, bro. I've been trying to chill. Something ain't right, though. And I normally don't even do this. Y'all know how I be rocking. But something ain't right. And I ain't going for it. All right. Bro, let me get back to it. I just want to be able to give him blank. So she ended that like that. Man, I know. It's kind of the statute says, that you purge. But I can't keep him in there indefinitely. I've got to kind of, right. That is all I want to know. The whole thing is that he has the keys to his own freedom, and that freedom is if he just gives his testimony. Then he purged it, right? And whatever that testimony is, we know what we believe it to be, but we don't know what it is. We can't talk about it. Yo, who the fuck's just said in the chat that they read the whole thing? Hey, MB, you read the whole thing and you ain't sent it to me. Then you coming in giving spoilers? Fuck you. Fuck. Yo, don't do no spoilers in here, bro. If you see me pull up with something, don't come in the chat and give you like a summary of the shit before we get done. What type of shit is that? Seriously, bro. Men's a fucking ruin the fucking whole fucking vibe for you. Yeah? if you let these men's a fucking ruin a whole fucking vibe. Fuck. God damn, bro. Niggas ain't send me an email. Salute to Agnes, man. Agnes, the goddamn, you conversed with me about getting it. Yo, I checked multiple times. As soon as I was doing something else, the shit dropped. Nobody seen it, but what you saying is you read it. Never mind. You don't understand. I got people that be hitting me though that understand though, bro. My thing is I ain't mad at you for reading the motherfucker. You came in and spoiled it for us though, bro. She kept it. We ain't know what the fuck was gonna happen. You just summarized it in the chat though. Nah, MB be around here. He ain't know he was giving a spoiler on the paperwork. Hold on. I was about to buy the shit too. I'm glad I waited. Cause if I kept refreshing, I would have just bought it and that shit was right on the line. But Agnes sent me an email, but the link wasn't in the email, but it made me search it. Then I got it. So yeah, it worked out. What's the I'm confused though. I'm confused though, bro. Hold on. Let me get this right. Why is Caleb Bumpus important though? I'm still confused with that part. I'm confused with that part. All right. And you know, whatever that testimony is, we know what we believe it to be, but you know, we don't know what it is. We can't talk about it. We don't, I mean, hell no. Hell no, she ain't. Hell no, she ain't say that like that. Hold on. Hold on. Hold. And, you know, whatever that testimony is, we know what we believe it to be, but, we don't know what it is. We can talk about it. We can't talk about it. We don't, hell no, bro. Fuck no. Nah. Man, I would love to get this shit to Denzel or somebody that really act like, yo, here go the script to see how they pull this motherfucker off. Straight up. You know what I'm talking about? Like somebody that really get busy. Like, yo, put that right, make that right. Act that out. Like, say that. All right, hold on. Let me try it again, y'all. Hold on. This Miss Love saying this, y'all. And, whatever that testimony is, I can't even get in her flow or her cadence with this motherfucker, bro, at all. Like, at no point. And, whatever that testimony is, we know what we believe it to be. But, we don't know what it is. We can't talk about it. We don't, you know. I mean, we don't know what he's going to say. We have an idea. We know what he's told us. That motherfucker fishy, bro. And look, it's at the same thing again. Them two damn dashes is where it's like a period wouldn't even work. A period or a comma wouldn't even work. They just like, yo, nah. It's like Glanville told the stenographer, yo, go on sniper mode. You feel me? Don't do me dirty when you typing. She like, oh no, I got you. I'ma just It's like they already had this preset or something, like this style right here. It's like shorter shorthand. Like leave important shit out when we go back here in the back chambers. Don't anything that's heavy, just go ahead and just zip glaze that motherfucker. Live though. Cause it's like it's every time. Details is being left out, bro. I ain't crazy, bro. We done missed a couple things where they was about to say something specific. All that shit been left out, like the specific part. And our concern is that if his blank, our concern, ain't no way in fucking hell. Ain't no way. Hell no. I'm not accepting that. And our concern is that if his whoa. And our concern is that if his blank, our concern blank, I know the court said essentially you intimated that you blank that Mr. Hell, fuck no. What? Nigga, you can't even play fucking Wheel of Fortune with this shit. Nigga, this whole parts of sentences took off that bitch, nigga. That ain't words. Nigga, if that was regular words took out, man, I'd be able to fill in the blanks. Straight the fuck up, bro. Straight the fuck up, bro. Nigga, I would be able to improvise. You feel me? Like real rap, bro. Context and sentences let you know where the fuck a person going, first off. You can see what's coming. How the fuck y'all think I know how to read? Like, it's like this ghost drive type shit you can do because English language only allow you to do but so much. Less a nigga getting on, on some willy-nilly shit. Yeah, this shit broke. This shit is broken, bro. It's not even broken English. This bitch broke. This ain't even, foreign people talk better English than this. True or false? Fuck wrong with y'all. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I might seem like I'm crazy. I ain't that goddamn crazy, bro. I done heard too much language. I know when a nigga talking some old nut shit or something wrong with him. This right here is not all of it. This we can't even make the assessment of who we dealing with because this ain't the whole thought. These not whole thoughts. That Mr. Melnick probably told him essentially, you should testify. They are not going to blank. They can't do anything with your testimony. But what we overheard being said was they are going to hammer you. If we were going to expose Kenneth Copeland to, this shit over. This ain't no damn turning over, no damn. Nah, this shit over, y'all. Nah, fuck that. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. The judge must wanted to get the fuck out of here. Ain't no way, y'all. Yes, yeah. Mr. Melnick told Mr. Copeland, we're going to hammer him. Now, to be fair, and I think Ms. Bumpus, as an advocate or anybody has got to tell him he's going to face some pretty significant cross-examination. Yeah. Oh, she blamed it on the defense. Yeah, I think that's what he meant. What? How the fuck y'all flip that? No, he was talking about the state. He was talking about the state, man. I mean, he's got about 10. Whoa, what the fuck? And I'm crazy. And I'm crazy. You see that shit right there? I mean, he's got about, what the fuck is that? Ain't no way. That bitch don't talk like that. We all been listening to this bitch about a year now. Yo, we ain't heard too many complete sentences in here. Yo, hold on, y'all. Why the fuck I've been able to read all this other shit? Come on, bro. Y'all done heard me shift gears up here, reading all types of shit. We talking about I done improvise live, adding shit into reading, y'all. And I can't make it through this shit with a flow. Cap. What the fuck is this? Bro. I got a feeling this gonna get worse, y'all. It's got to. It's gotta get worse. Something gonna be in here. Let's keep going, y'all. Something in here that we need. But I'm just letting y'all know. This bitch chopped. I'm talking about, and for it to be like this, what y'all think? It was edited on the back end, or Shorty nice enough to short this bitch on the front? I think she nice enough to do it live while she listening. I know what time it is. He don't want me putting nothing. Yeah, it's a certain yeah. hell yeah, she could do it. Because if I could think about the style, it's like, yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, I'm typing it down. I'm keeping notes, but I'm in that mode though. I'm protecting us. I'm protecting the house right now. Protecting the house. Eric say on the back. The back dirty though, Eric, because the originals got to be around. I'm thinking they slick enough that we not even documenting certain shit. It's never been booked. That's the real way, Eric. Like a nigga that do your books, but it's in his head, Eric. It's never wrote down. Only what we need to. So the real numbers in my head, the shit that's on paper. Oh no, that shit. That shit phony. You feel me? It look good. Yeah, it passed the test, but nah, that ain't nowhere near what's really what really was said. You feel me? Or the real numbers. I mean, that's what you would do. You gotta have something. Y'all was back there saying something, so you can't turn in a blank. So what you do in this situation? You in control. The person that types the shit up is your peoples. What you tell them? Yo, look, we don't need nothing to be in this paperwork that's gonna make a nigga lose their job. You heard? Because if I lose my job, then you know the whole house lose their job. You heard? How you feeling? You good? All right, bet. Say less. We ready to get it? Yeah. All right. Where the audio? Shit. Shit. They got that? Who said that? Who said that? Otherwise they would say redacted. You hold, what you saying? They would have to tell you they redacted it. But nah, hold on. MB, if we in there working, bro, and I tell you don't put that shit in there, and I tell you, yo, don't put no fucking redacted sign on that bitch either. What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna put redacted? Yo, don't put all that shit in there. And don't put the redacted, bro. So we be good. I got you. How you rocking? You gonna look out, right? We be in here every day with each other, bro. I let you pet the dog and shit. I get you lunch. Come on, bro. We've probably already been. I mean, yo, that girl, that lady, and the other dude, they like technically they a gang up there, bro. With the bailiff, oh yeah, they full deep, and they got the other bailiff. So you essentially, bro, and if you been in the courtroom, yo, you know that group they rock with each other for real. Yeah, the other people was cool, but they really rock with each other. Straight up, that's a team, y'all. Seriously, y'all. Like we looking at it from the outside, but on some real shit, I wouldn't doubt if them people move around with the judge. What y'all think about that? Yo, do the stenographer and the judge is they teammates? Real shit. Is they teammates? Like it do it work like that in the courthouse? Like do they have their favorites? Like and once they team up, they like, yeah, that's my people. Like wherever I go, yeah, she on the case with me. Mm, mm. Eric, you got a good point. I was thinking about that. I ain't want to believe it. But yeah, you do got a good point. The stall out was so they could. But see, I don't think it take them that long to edit it though, Eric. But I did consider that. That's what the bluff was about. So they could tighten up. Ah, Weaver got the audio, still asked for it. Ugh. She do stay with the earpiece in, don't she? All right. So he meant the defense is going to hammer him? No, just in general, he's going to be, it's not going to be, hey, da 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 da. What the fuck? Hell no. I can't read this shit. What the fuck is that? Oh, you went to school for court reporting and they work for him and him only. That's how it worked. Like, oh shit. She's hired by him. Oh shit. Oh yeah, they got like some type of confidentiality then. Huh, man? He knew that. He had already been expressing that. But I mean, I think that's if he's concerned about that. Well, but it's all in the message, in the packaging, in terms of, I think Mr. Copeland is, a savvy person. Whoa, what the fuck? Is Glanville saying that? What the fuck? What the fuck does that mean? See, that's the type of shit make me turn around and look at somebody in their face when they say it. What? A judge just said that nigga is a savvy person. We all on the internet laughing at this nigga and shit. Couldn't tell that the nigga was a motherfucking genius or a motherfucking nutcase. Judge summarized it. That nigga savvy. Psh, game over. Nigga got assessed by a judge, bro. Fuck our opinion. Yup. Remember we was trying, we couldn't tell. Up, there you go. What you think now? Seriously, the nigga used the word savvy. Man, you'd have never used Woody and savvy in the same sentence. You'd have never did it. So there you go. There you go. You thought that boy was crazy. Remember I kept saying, ho, bro, ho. Yo, hold up. Hold on. This nigga did pull off the unimaginable, though. Like, and then they did send him to the feds, though. Remember I was saying, like, yo, hold on, bro. He pulled some. Remember I asked, like, yo, did anybody go to jail, though? Like, this man did all this talking, and they was letting him out of jail, but nobody went to jail. Huh? Crazy. But he's certainly going to be the subject to a thorough and sifting cross examination. That ain't what they was talking about. And the other thing is that blank. What the fuck? Can I just say something in Attorney Melnick's defense and response, just for the record? Yes. The reason, hold on, why is Miss Love and Bumpus having a direct debate instead of them talking with the judge? Like, they literally sorting it out themselves. The reason that he doesn't want to move forward with this representation, what I have been told, if he decides to testify, is that he doesn't feel like he can blank. He doesn't know. See, that's some bullshit. He doesn't know what was said outside of his presence. So he doesn't feel like he can adequately represent him or counsel him because he doesn't know what was told to the state when he wasn't there. But the thing is that the only thing that he should be concerned about is the criminal exposure or the exposure that Kenneth Copeland has criminally. And there is nothing. There's literally nothing. The statute is quite clear do that we can do to him about blank. The only thing that would put him in harm's way is a lie and a refusal to testify after being ordered to do so by the court. See, this don't make sense, bro. And by a lie, we don't mean like, oh, I think you lying. It would have to be, something obvious, because we can always impeach. But if he literally perjures himself, that's something different. We can't help that. We can't control that. We would only say, tell the truth. I don't care how bad it is, just tell the truth. So, like he says, I didn't go down to the police station. And I think part of his challenge, Ms. Bumpus, may be that you need to assure him, look, I'm going to be here. And if you think that they are asking you a question, they being the state or the defense is asking you a question that's going to bring out other crimes that you're going to blank, he's going to be able to look to you and say, can I have a chance to talk with you? That's exactly right. Uh-huh. See, but that's just it. No, he's not. Hold on, hold on, hold on. That's just it, Judge. The problem is that there's been an assertion that people are representing blank, and I'm not talking about you. What? Yeah. What? What the fuck? Yeah, it was some type of motion filed about some Brady evidence, y'all, that hasn't been disclosed. It is a motion in there about some Brady evidence right now. I don't know what they talking about though. It's only one sheet of paper, so I ain't download it. Miss Bumpers is saying she's not in a position to do that. Yo, something ain't right, yo. They talking choppy as a monjon. We not really even hearing the conversation. I'm gonna keep it real. They didn't at this point. They done left out so many of the main parts of their sentences. We they not saying time. They not saying like it's like I'm matter of fact. I'm gonna keep reading y'all. I'm gonna catch on to what exactly what the fuck they leaving out. I've been letting them slide because it's pissing me off the way they done chopped it. But hold on, I'm about to decipher this bitch somewhat. Fuck that. They they leaving whole portions of sentences out. No, I'm not saying I'm not in a position. I'm saying that the agreement between Mr. Copeland and Melnick, who I'm standing in for, is that if he chooses to testify, I'm to get him to sign this paper that says that then discharges Melnick as his rep. That's their agreement. I can't do nothing about that. Hold on, bro. This shit don't even make sense. Melnick fake goes on vacation, says he doesn't want to represent Woody unless he doesn't testify. Nigga, then you not representing him. Woody's saying that was never his lawyer. Yo, something is super wrong here. Ms. Love says, that sounds weird. That does not sound like something in Mr. Copeland's best interest. That sounds like protecting somebody else's best interest. If you talk, I can't blank. I ain't going to blank. I'm not going to represent you. I don't even know what to do with that. Well, he said he does not know what was said. It doesn't matter what was said. Right, right. It doesn't matter. And he didn't ask us. He didn't even inquire, what have you all talked about? He has been talking to Brian Steele and Max Shard. That's it. He is not talking to us. And in fact, when Mr. Copeland asked to speak with us, Mr. Melnick barges in and gets between Miss Hilton and Mr. Copeland and literally keeps us from talking to him before he gets called to the stand. And that's troubling. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Melnick a gangster. Melnick a gangster, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, Melnick dragging right now. Melnick technically, how much they pay Melnick to pull this move? What the fuck kind of move is this? Nigga came and said, I'm repping him. Only if he don't talk. Well, I think what happened was blank. And I say this because I previously represented Mr. Copeland previously on his other stuff. When? Hell no. Somebody find a case where she represented Woody. Where? Fuck is wrong with her? Uh-oh. Nigga, I've been looking at all this nigga cases. What the fuck she mean she represented him? And where? Find that case, y'all. Where the fuck that case at? So I know when he blinked, this is just what I think happened. What? I think how attorney Melnick came involved was his representation of other blank because he took my place. What? Copeland fired me and hired Melnick. What? And this came about. And I think so at the beginning, Melnick was representing him and then blank in his criminal matter that he had, but that's resolved. What? Where? Where? But when this case started, how the fuck that get resolved? A gun charge? And the ammunition was federal. And he ain't go back to fed jail. So he got a state and fed charge. And it got resolved. All right. But when this case started, Melnick called me and told me that he was representing him as a witness at the beginning. Why would Melnick told you? What? Why would Melnick call Bumpus when the case started, y'all? And why would Melnick be saying he representing Holmes as a witness? Like, what the hell? Then Miss Love say Melnick has never in life blank. Bumpus says this is 2 years ago. What? Miss Why they cut that right there? Melnick has never in life what? Melnick didn't blank. As a matter of fact, less than 2 years ago when Copeland was sitting in jail for something else he had done. What the fuck was that? Melnick said, I don't represent him. He told me, I don't represent him. And people were in the room. He was on speaker. He told me he didn't represent him. Why the fuck was y'all on some type of phone in the speaker room 2 years ago? What the fuck is going on? Now he ultimately did come about and represent him. But when we're trying to get, I guess, blank, something, yeah. What? Copeland, yeah. He's not my lawyer. I don't have a lawyer. He's not my lawyer. And then, are you talking about recently? So recently, Copeland said that Melnick was not his lawyer. Right. When Copeland was in jail, Melnick told me he wasn't his lawyer. But our understanding was that Melnick was his lawyer for those criminal charges. And so the person that came in and argued, or at least stood in for him, or his bond, and then on his subsequent plea was Melnick. On what plea? But I don't know whose interests he would be representing when he's not talking to us about what we've spoken to Copeland about. He could ask us and we would tell him, you know? So I don't know why he would withdraw his representation of him. If his interest is Kenneth Copeland, then why would you pull out? That doesn't make sense. At the point where he would face the most peril, if that is his concern, if his concern is, I don't know what they talked about, so don't know what. And I thought that Miss Hilton had a list of questions for Mr. Copeland anyway. She did. Well, how come y'all can't blank? He didn't ask to see those. He didn't blank. And not only that, blank. Well, can't you all share that with Miss Bumpus? Well, Miss Hilton has already shared it with Mr. Copeland, and we certainly will share it generally speaking. Can I read this email that Melnick sent me? I don't know if this will help you understand what he's saying. It says, hey, Kayla, I wasn't able to see Kenneth today. He went on Saturday and tried to talk to him before his flight, but I have talked to his family, so at first Kenneth was going to testify, but has now decided to take the fifth. He may change his mind on Monday. If he does, then he's agreed to discharge me as his attorney. This isn't out of bad feelings, but I was not present when he met with the DA's office, so I can't really help him with his testimony. And then he gave me the discharge and told me that if he decides to testify, then he's to sign this. And that's just it. It's like you never know what somebody is going to ask. And if he's concerned about putting him in legal jeopardy, then it would seem like he would remain and allow Mr. Copeland access to counsel when Mr. Copeland is concerned that he's about to walk into an area that puts him in legal jeopardy. You can't switch how he gets called. See, that's not in Mr. Copeland's best interest. That's in the defendant's best interest. Man. Eric. Come on, Eric. How you gonna do it? How you gonna do, I think, in this situation where we do all this fact checking? Come on, baby. What you gonna do? And where you get that from, though, Eric? You think he got a possession with intent? I mean, I'm not doubting you, at all. But where that's at? In Fulton County? I would like to see the paperwork. Where the plea at? Man, I swear I don't see that in the system for Holmes. I swear I done looked in there at that boy record so many times. I don't recall nothing, the last charge being that. Seriously, I really don't. I would like to see that paperwork. Miss J, nothing was said that would interfere with the trial. Still jumped the gun. Well, Miss J, why are you saying that? Where you get that opinion from? You made that opinion yourself from reading it? What about the sheer fact that they wasn't supposed to have a meeting and they was using coercion, like threatening Woody? Like the whole style of the meeting itself was improper. That ain't. I mean, I feel you. So you read through though? I'll trust you if you say you read through. I'm a believe what you saying until I'm done and make my own opinion. But I'll trust you. But I don't think it's actually about. Well, I think they doubled down on it. I think what they said in there kind of was a little bit bad because it's your key witness. You using all your leverage to put him in a position to be forced. You taking away his ability. Yet you taking away his rights by bringing him back there in that meeting and framing the situation the way they did. They essentially took away the little bit of rights he did have. So like they gave him a little bit of rights by saying, "Yo, we'll throw you immunity," to kind of make him feel better. By bringing him back in the room after he pled the fifth and making him go in that little meeting to try to coerce him into, talking or whenever they did it. I might be messing the timeline up, but it appears that they kind of like, yeah, I think they might have infringed on some rights with that, bro. Real rap. Because it's like, he played him. I see the play, y'all. He got him, y'all. He got him. He got him, y'all. He got him. He got him, bro. He really finessed him, bro. And it's some elements that went in his favor. I wouldn't doubt if that sit down went in his favor. I wouldn't doubt if other elements went in Woody's favor to line up, whereas though technically they start leaning on his testimony more and he understood that they really didn't have much so he could finagle this far. He knew, bro. That's why part of his plan had to been damn near to play this out, bro, which is to continue to finagle, which makes it worse. They banking on my original finagle. But every time I sit down with him, I spend them. Like, bro, yo spends them every time. Now, the thing that lets you know that Holmes was really getting busy on him and they caught on, they let his ass go to jail. But I think they did that for multiple reasons. They wanted to make scare him and remove him from Georgia. I'm speculating with this. But that way they lined him up with that gymnasium shit, bro. And they still ain't get what they was looking for, y'all. Swear to God. He burnt them. Only reason we here and they ran it back is because the Chamel drinks in that atmosphere joint with the police. They like, yo, we could open the door. I think they would have left this shit alone, y'all. If the joint ain't happened with YSL, them two dudes got hit on the highway, then the Chamel drinks, I don't even think none of this shit would have went to trial. I think once that button got pressed, I might be wrong. It might have been something right before that. Either way, I think something that happened in recent time made him start pressing the line and open that door back up with Woody. He might have been, I think essentially, yo, he was a bad rat. Yeah. And that's what got his ass sent to the feds. And technically, they've been on his ass ever since. But essentially, to this day, I still ain't found that boy in nobody paperwork yet. All his paperwork I done looked at. Like he ain't yo done invaded them and like we done came across mad people talking to the law and saying shit. But where the convictions at for these actual things? I ain't even gonna lie, I can't put two from his video footage. Can we link that to any jail time directly? Real rap. Even with the dudes out front of his house. They in the interview talking about Tay. Did a Tay go to jail for that? And he even said, man, come on, man. Y'all think if I really thought somebody named Tay did that, I'd be chilling with him? Like, do y'all know how nutty that is? Yo actually mentioned a nigga and be with him now. Used it. Yo, that's some Tupac on juice shit right there. You somebody you cool as an scapegoat as an extreme lie. Like, yeah, I totally lied, yo. Yeah, I used your name, but yo, it was it was bro. So like I don't know what we dealing with here, y'all, but this shit is out of this world, bro. Cause it's strategy being applied. See, at first it just sounded like somebody scared and they just saying whatever. Nah, hell no. Mm-mm. He wouldn't have been able to burn him like this long. Even though they super lined his ass up with that gymnasium shit. Straight up. Straight up. But mm, something ain't right with Woody too. Cause remember I found that little discrepancy with that 40 cal. And the dates don't make sense. It's on paper that they had the 40 cal, the ATF had it, but in the interview on the same day, the police acting like they don't know where the gun at. So I ain't gonna lie, that 40 cal thing is weird. Now we got something that Hilton and them saying that he just got over, but we don't see it in the system at all. Like I don't think like the situation he got caught in 2021, where he doing that interview with Vivarito. I don't know where that charge at. Straight up. If y'all can find it, let me know. I don't remember finding that. I might have at some point, but I don't remember seeing that. And I didn't been in the system recently looking. I don't recall seeing that. Nothing in these recent years. Which led me to believe that Holmes is federal. And the feds work directly with APD, if you ask me, from what they've been saying. If you listen to what they say, they've been in direct connection with different entities. Now, I don't think every city rock like that. Certain cities do. I know my city got different little things they do directly with the feds. Would he hit the Vivarito? He might have. I'm gonna have to say the flirting between him and Vivarito was a little bit more obvious than the one with Bumpo. Straight up. Like the way they was talking with each other seemed like they didn't had some long drawn out conversations sitting in vehicles staring at the starry night with the radio turned off. Like real rap. With the seats cocked back. Drinking Casamigos on dirty ice cubes out the liquor store. You heard. Straight up. Hold on, let me read the rest of this shit, y'all. I really ain't jacking it. We 15 pages in. We got a quarter down. Hold on. Weaver not a soccer mom. She a hockey mom. She a lacrosse mom or something, bro. She do not got the soccer mom thing going on. A baseball mom. Yeah, that's crazy. Hold up though, y'all. Hold on. Let me get back to it, y'all. We gonna find something in here. We did find a couple phrases that I highlighted. Let me find some more, y'all. Hold on. Let me keep going because we actually doing some different shit. What you say? In one of the interviews, you heard the detective say half of what you saying is a lie. Yo, which is crazy. Because if somebody say that to you, which half? All right. He was very much. Hold on. That is not what he said in that email. He wasn't. I tried to go back and watch as much as I could. Hold on. What the fuck to say? Can't do it because he can't get this refundable ticket. What? Ho. When you say switch in how he gets called, what does that have to do with anything? I don't know. Maybe he's saying he can't do it because he can't get his refundable ticket. What ticket? That is not what he said in the email to you, and that is not what he relayed to the court. And his concerns have nothing to do with blank. He was very much blank. Yo, this is some bullshit. I tried to go back and watch as much as I could, telling me what he was, that he was going on vacation. And I said, well, you inserted yourself in this. I said, really? You need to come on Monday? What? So he can't force Mr. Copeland to discharge him just because Mr. Copeland decides to testify. I think you are in until it's done. I mean, who, me? Yeah. I mean, that's just, if he testifies, you got to kind of, what? And frankly, Your Honor, I know that if a person faces criminal contempt, they are entitled to representation if they want it. This being a civil contempt matter, not necessarily. Anybody who's facing contempt can get counsel. I mean, not anybody, but what the fuck? I can't stay. How long is this going to take? It might take some days. Uh-uh. And see, that's just it. I think Ms. Bumpus is put in a precarious position. She's not the one that stood up and injected herself into this. They reached out to her, and she did him a favor. How the fuck this nigga call a lawyer from Texas to come over and fill in because he going on vacation? How the fuck you make somebody else go on vacation to do some work while you go on vacation? I ain't even gonna lie. And you know the person? Cap. 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 NBA young boy. Cap in your rap. Cap. Why they just be like bold faced lying? It's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. Bro, do you hear what they proposing to us? This lady is in Texas and they called her to Atlanta to fill in while somebody goes on vacation. That don't even make sense. She can only practice in GA. Regardless, she still live in Texas. Like who the fuck yo, but ultimately, It seems as if Mr. Melnick is stalling and attempting to delay and hamper and hinder our proceedings. What? Oh my God. And that is a problem because that has nothing to do with the best interest of Kenneth Copeland. And that has nothing to do with Kenneth Copeland's exposure if he testifies. Bro. Just to answer the question about what he is exposed to, the statute is very, very clear. It literally says that no testimony or any evidence required under the court's order or any information directly or indirectly derived from such testimony or evidence shall be used against a person in any proceeding or prosecution for a crime or offense concerning which he testified or produces evidence under the court order. Yo, why was that a complete statement? Whoa. Got him.
Hey, where the posted nigga at right now?
What's going on with posted?
Hold on, posted came up.
I ever see EBAN, I'm gonna break that nigga face.
Yeah, I can't give posted back to late night. That ain't happening. No, 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 no.
Got him. Y'all see how I just read that? Who seen me just be able to get in gear like that? That's like the first time I got a complete run. Yo, who been paying attention? You can read it too, bro. That's the first fluent sentence. Like, I ain't gonna say the very first one. Like a whole one that was like actually something besides some just filler conversation. And look what it was. It was her repeating the law. That is saying even if he got on the stand and said blank, yo, now here they go again. He started talking about an unrelated crime, which is what the biggest thing I think he's probably thinking about is that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff they could ask me about. Right. That is not known to a lot of people, and that, he could also invoke his Fifth Amendment with the advice of counsel if it was some other particular crime. But even that, we wouldn't blank, even that. He still has to testify. Literally blank, right? The law says blank. Yeah, I mean, anything he testifies to, blank. We do this. Okay. And then about the delay or stall. Isn't it true or is it not true that he had a leave filed since December? We have nothing to do with any of that. He injected himself into this. Yeah, see, the problem is blank. He stepped in, blank, that when you get involved, I don't know, you have a leave, blank. Yo, oh my God. Right, blank. And unless you filed that leave into this case, you don't have a leave for my case. Right, okay. And he did not, so he didn't have one. Mr. Copeland's been a witness and a name on this witness list since blank. So since he said, well, I represent him, I'm like, okay, well, you don't have a leave. That's filed in our case. Okay. So he did this to himself and he did it to you. But we have to blank, that is just where it is. And I don't know that blank, that's just where we are. Yo, what the? So, Judge, you're going to make me stay if he chooses to testify? I am because he blank, you're his lawyer. You're his lawyer. You're a stand-in lawyer at this point. Your Honor, I don't have a problem with that. I just blank. I'm not ready. If blank, there's nothing for you to be ready about. I mean, here's the thing. I think the only thing you've got to kind of ask him about is, look, here's the questions the state is going to ask you. All right? Is there anything else that could hurt you that they might ask you about? And as long as you have knowledge of that, then I think that you are fine because the state's only going to get into this. Now, the reason you want to know what's going to hurt you is the defendants know more about Kenneth Copeland than anybody else. So they're probably going to kind of blank. What about if I say I can't do it? Then Melnick needs to come back, right? Am I going to be in trouble? Because I was only for Monday. That's what I was told. I was given specific blank, ... If Copeland said blank, I don't know what Mr. Copeland wants. It's his choice. Can't he say he doesn't want Melnick? He can say whatever he wants. It's his choice. But the judge is saying blank. Man, this shit's crazy. The raw, uncut version. If you ain't gonna send it, don't tell me. You heard? Now what? Now what we gonna do? King? I mean, we stuck now. We waiting on you. You the source. You was watching a little female that was reading it without the blanks. And if it's not in the system, in Fulton County system without the blanks, what you got to say? Um, um, nah, we don't do commercials, bro. You already ran the commercial. Please, respectfully, please don't. And nice to meet you. You must ain't been around here long. Nice to meet you, bro. But you do know you can search Fulton County paperwork, right? And technically, as of about 9 o'clock, I don't need our video. Why? Chill, bro. I'm cool. I'm cooling. I'll catch up with it later. I really ain't tripping though about this redaction. Hey, let me ask you this though, Ballin. Did you see the video I did where I was reading over all the other paperwork about Bloody Summer and all that? That shit way more important than this. You see that video, Ballin? Matter of fact, did you go to somebody else's chat and tell them that yo, the dude EBAN Films technically opened up a door to some whole other shit that involved like a whole slew of people that's involved in this YSO shit, and it possibly could have been some shit going on since like 2007 or something, like for real, like straight up, like some major player shit. You ever said that in somebody's chat? Some real boss player shit.
Okay, can I hear hum man?
All right. I don't think he can be forced to have representation if he doesn't want, need, or say he wants it. because we have offered. We have done everything to clear him of judicial exposure. He's not blank. There is nothing he can say blank. He could lie. That puts him in, you know? Pearl. Pearl. Yeah, salute, Ballin. But, you know, he can't talk about a crime that we could then prosecute him for. That is involving this or something, some other place. Right. I understand that, but blank. And we can't use his testimony to go find evidence to prosecute him for that stuff he talks about. Basically, he is literally shielded, Miss Bumpus. I would have to agree with you that I don't think that that's the concern. Isn't that what you said? Well, the court said that blank. No, I'm saying with Mr. Copeland not testifying. You said you don't think that his concern is criminal exposure, or do you think that is what he's worried about? The court. Do you think that he's fearful of testifying for other reasons, like for his personal safety? Right. That is what Mr. Melnick said to me in an email I can pull up. He said, blank, got him. That was Miss Love saying Mr. Melnick said in an email where he basically told her, you're going to get your smoke. But you don't believe that. You're going to get him killed. That's what he said. We ain't going to kill him. Oh, what? What? You're going to get him killed. That's what he said. We ain't going to kill him. See, I don't know anything about that email. We ain't going to kill him. I can show you the email, but we're not going to kill Kenneth Copeland. So who is he talking about? So what are you trying to do? Whoa. What what is her problem doing that, bro? That's crazy what she doing right now. Wow. Wow. She disregarding the fact that that boy can get smoked and saying, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We ain't doing it. But tell me, who are you suspecting that will do it so we can try to add that into the RICO? That's crazy. They literally dangling that boy out there. That's crazy, bro. I mean, obviously he blinked. Blank first. He has to give testimony though. I mean, that's what he has to do. He's got to give testimony, whatever it is, good, bad, or indifferent. Good, bad, or indifferent, I should say. What? You just said that. So we would like, with the court's permission, they haven't brought him over, and he was supposed to be the first one up, so I guess they went to get him. They might be over here with him now. Is he here now? I don't know. We would like to just go into another courtroom and talk to him, give you a chance to talk to him, and then give you an opportunity to explain to him. We're off record. Brief recess. Wow. Glanville and Mr. Chamberlain enter chambers at 9:34. Miss Love. Miss Hilton has been communicating with him. I'd like to grab her from downstairs and have her come up. Where's Mr. Copeland? They took him upstairs to the tank in 9. Okay, can we bring him out to blank? Can we? Your chambers is being used. I mean, your courtroom is being used. Let's bring him in here. All right, so let me see if I can get that done. Let's bring him in here. Okay, thank you. We'll just bring him in here. The proceedings stood in recess from 9:34 to 10:03 a.m. Mr. Copeland entered chambers at 10:03 a.m. Also present were Judge Glanville, ADA Hilton, Attorney Caleb Bumpus, Court Reporter Weaver, Investigator Long, Hamilton, Deputy Houston, Deputy McPherson, Brown, Sergeant Hall, Fulton County Sheriff's Department. What? Okay, can you let him know I got a hearing problem? What? Okay, he said, can blank. He is hard of hearing. That makes 2 of us. I've got a hearing aid that's coming on the 27th of January. I mean, of June. What the fuck? How the hell he messed that up? So I'll try and talk loud. Is it okay if I blank? Yeah, I can read lips. Whoa, what the fuck? This nigga a magician. This nigga's a fucking magician. That nigga's a fucking street magician, bro. Woody? Yo. Yo, do you know what type of dirty ass tactic that is if you can read lips on the streets? Yo, that's a fucking Houdini move or some shit, bro. Nigga can read lips, bro. Niggas be talking right beside niggas, but like not close enough to hear him all the time. That's some sneaky shit, bro. That's ear hustling for real. That's crazy. You can read lips? Nah, I'm talking about somebody that say it in a professional setting. Bruce, you not going to no courtroom and telling no fucking judge, yo, nah, it's cool. I can read lips. You not, yo, he just said it to a judge, bro. That's not regular, Bruce. You not saying that in the court. Like, in a sense, a lot of people can kind of read lips. But you really gonna say that in the court, though? Okay, good, Mr. Copeland. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I just wanted to bring you over and let you talk with Miss Bumpus and see if there is anything. So they pulled up a lawyer that knows him to get him to move forward with testifying. Got rid of the one that didn't want him to testify. And when he's caught in the middle, mysteriously, a lawyer that knows him pops up. That's crazy. I just wanted to bring you over and let you talk with Ms. Bumpus and see if there is anything that you need to ask of your counsel or Ms. Hilton or the state or the court before we bring you out this morning, because it is blank. We would like to hear your testimony, and that is kind of where we are at this point in time. So is there anything you want to ask? Well, I want to speak to you personally that I have never been truthful a day in my life until I just made this statement right now. Damn. Yo, where the fuck he get that at? Who told that nigga to say that? What the fuck? Yo. That's some of the wildest shit ever said out of a human mouth, bro. Yeah, well, I want to speak to you personally. Hold on, he fucked it up too. He ain't even say it right. Well, I want to speak to you personally. He was supposed to say, I want to tell you personally that I have never been truthful a day in my life until I just made this statement right now. I don't comprehend none of this stuff that's going on. I'm dick dumb in here. Okay, well, the only thing you can give is truthful testimony. I mean, whatever you know is whatever you know. I mean, that's it. Yo, just the judge finessed him. And what we'll say, blank, and Mr. Copeland and I, we've talked about this. I'm not sure what your concerns are, but what concerns that you expressed to Mr. Melnick last week. But if you are, blank, if any of your concerns deal with being locked up for anything, you can't. What? Like, there's nothing that can happen. The feds, blank. What the fuck about the feds? Why the fuck did they blank that out? That's some bullshit. Well, that's not blank. It is true. What? No. I said that's not his concern. If his concern is safety, we need to know that. Like, that's not expressed. So we don't know what the concern is so that we can try to resolve the concern. This is what I'm saying. Mr. Copeland and I have had conversations before. I understand some of his concerns is potentially criminal liability, hence why we gave you immunity. The federal statute of limitations, done. The state statute of limitations, done. What? About what? So there's nothing, like I researched it this weekend, both those statute of limitations for what you and I talked about, which is in 2015 or before, done. Fuck he did. So if that is the concern, there is none because you cannot be prosecuted. The federal statute of limitations is 5 years. For what? It ain't murder. So what'd he do, y'all? What he do? He scared about, yo. That whole 5 years statute, yo. It ain't murder. What's that? Somebody reverse Google that, y'all. The federal statute of limitations is 5 years. For what? Come on, y'all. Reverse engineer that for me. Where is this coming from? Next concern. What may happen in the street? She's saying it as a question mark, though. You know what we have talked about, what we can do as far as living and all that. We have had those conversations. Oh, what the fuck they could do? Oh, hold up. What y'all helping people change their identity? Like Thug Father said. Oh, what they talking about? So I'm trying to express to you, we do not want you locked up. I don't know how many times I've got to tell you that. Tell that to you. What I've got to say to you. We don't want you sitting in the cab or whenever they got you because of this. I know you, Dan, they put his ass in the cab. I know you wanted to talk to me on Friday before you walked in court. We weren't able to talk. If you still want to talk with or without Miss Bumpus, I'm here. But we do not want you in custody. You will not blank this order. I don't know if you kept your copy of the order, but this order says you are immune from prosecution. Any of it. Literally. Judge, you might want to close your ears. Blank. If you confess to a murder on the stand, if we don't have any other independent evidence outside of what you say on the stand, you are immune from prosecution from what you say in court. Damn. Oh. She finessed him. She finessed his ass right there. The way she said it, the way she said it, as if they won't charge him for that body. But her wording says they will. Yo, she finessed him with this, bro. Look, if you confess to a murder on the stand, if we don't have any other independent evidence outside of what you say on the stand, you're immune from the prosecution for what you say in court. Cap, bro. She holler if we don't have any other independent evidence. No, it don't cover the murder. Ain't no statute. A limitation. See, she finessed him by telling him about something he complaining about that's from 2015. That whole that the statute is 5 years. That is not murder. I know that for sure. That ain't murder. Whatever he's scared about, she just clarified. Whatever it was, it happened in 2015, and it hold 5 years on the statute. Yeah, telling the judge to close his ears is definitely alluding to you about to say some shit you ain't supposed to say as a lawyer. Definitely playing with your bar license or whatever the fuck they call it. Straight up. For real. That's the statement you was talking about earlier. So again, I don't know what was communicated to you on Friday. I have no idea. But what the state has assured you, which I have assured you in our private conversations with Mr. Long. Fuck they doing having private conversations with Mr. Long? Hold on. No. Who the fuck is that? And I'm saying in front of Ms. Bumpus, as I told you, that is what this order says. And that is direct or cross-examination. So if you are worried about what the defendants may ask you because they may know your business, but if they ask you about things that you might think you might have some liability with, you can't be prosecuted for any of those. That nigga ain't understand that. I got family members watching this trial, and I don't want my nephew and them to hear things that I may be involved in and think it's okay. Cat. I can't believe that nigga said that. This nigga got morals. Long as an investigator. Shan, please relax with that. That says nothing. Why would he be in the room? And where did he come from to be meeting up in this secret meeting? So like saying something like that is kind of like, come on, you're you're not even cracking. Come on, give me golly, hold on, gee whiz. What? You familiar with this character? Or did this character just get introduced to you in this closed door meeting and behind the scenes, and now this character is in the room with just Woody and Hilton in there talking, and that's normal to you? Or I'm tripping? Like, come on, like, give me some, like really assess this shit. Like, yo, who the fuck is Long? We ain't heard nothing. Yo, we know niggas by nickname and real name in the court. Who the fuck is Long? So I get it. Yeah, they told us he an investigator or he work in the DA's office. But Holmes, he ain't sitting down at the table we be saying. You feel me? So who's these people? Real shit. And why she need him in there in that meeting? Like, is he the muscle? But I think that's a separate conversation you can have with them as an honest individual. Like, look, nephews, I done lived a life that I don't want you to live. Don't go through what I've been through. Who the fuck just said this to him? Hilton. What? She corny as a mon, John. She terrible with it. Oh shit. I gotta get her, y'all. Hell no. Damn, I don't want all of that. Why is it doing it? That's some bullshit. Oh. That's not blank. That's something you can have outside of being in jail, because that's a better conversation you can have with your nephews in person. But they shouldn't have to come to DeKalb County Jail because you are being held in contempt. You can have that conversation with your nephews tomorrow in person. What? You can have that conversation with them. You can have that conversation with anybody. You know what's coming up this weekend. Why are we in jail? What are we doing? What? But y'all did this intentionally. Oh, no, we did not. You and I had this conversation, Mr. Copeland, on Friday morning. You knew my child's birthday was next week. But what did I tell you? When we met with each other, I said to you, blank, you asked me, what is the one thing that's going to get me in jail? Didn't you ask me that? And what's my response? If you plead the fifth. And that is exactly what you did on the stand. But what did I tell you before I got to that point? I told you the whole time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I told you we were giving you immunity. Blank, that I was pleading the fifth. Oh, what the fuck you mean? What is the blank? They definitely cut his ass off right there. No, you did not. I told you every day I was pleading the fifth. No, you did not. And we told you blank. I told you my concern. And we said we could give you immunity. You said your concern is what they know about you. And when you said that, I said, well, you know stuff about them. And then I said, whatever your concerns are, we can give you immunity. So I didn't tell you I lied on them to get myself out of the situation. You said you were a liar. That's what you said. You said you were a liar. Whoa. Whoa. Was this recorded? No. No. And did he ever say that Melnick was his attorney? No. This week, when we first met you in the car on Friday, we asked you, is Mr. Melnick your attorney? You said, he's not my attorney. I haven't even talked to him. Oh, they met that nigga in the car on Friday? No, I never said he's not my attorney. I said I haven't talked to him. You said he's not your attorney. You haven't talked to him. Then we continued to have a conversation. At no point did you ever say to us, hey, I want Mr. Melnick here. Hey, put Mr. Melnick on the phone. You didn't make me feel like I needed him. But if you needed him, we would have said blank. If you would have needed Mr. Melnick, we would have said to you, okay, just call him. So, I mean, that is our position. Damn, I'm only halfway through. What the fuck? We don't want you in jail. We just want you to be able to purge yourself by testifying. Whatever your truth is what your truth is. But you've just got to answer the questions. We believe that you're blank. Whatever your truth is, what your truth is. What? We know what you said before. I don't know what you're going to say on the stand, but what we know is pleading the fifth is going to keep you in custody. That's what I know. Now, how you answer your questions is how you answer your questions. I know what you said before, and I know what you said later. I mean, I know what you said before, and I don't know what you're going to say on the stand because you and I never went into full details about any of it. But what I don't want is you to be sitting here in custody. You did it. I did not do it. You did it by pleading the fifth. You told me blank before you went to the judge with whatever that thing called you went to him with. You told me that I can't blank when I'm asked a question. I can say I don't recall or I don't know. You told me that if I plead the fifth, I mean something blank. Why would I plead the fifth to something I ain't do? And I said that you don't know what I did and what I ain't do. And then you was like, something. What? And then y'all asked for this immunity. And I was like, it was something. What? And then Friday, blank, Thursday or Friday came. And then y'all go tell me, oh, we went to the judge with this, so you got to testify. If you don't testify, the judge's going to lock you up. Right. But that was based upon what you blank. But I told y'all that. No, you didn't. You said, why would I plead the fifth to something I didn't do? And I said, you don't know what happened. And I said, I don't know what happened. Only you know and them know, I said. But you never said I'm pleading the fifth. You said, what if I do this? What if I do this? What if I do this? I told you. I said I'm going to plead the fifth. You said, why you plead the fifth to something that you know you didn't do? Man, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, 3-man weave, bro. Yeah, they globetrotting. He playing a game with him too. The weird part about it is, yo is mingling in the mix of the bullshit that they doing. He feeding it too. This shit crazy. They made this boy like this. Yo, the cat and mouse game they playing, they the only ones play that game. Like, yo, I swear. I hate to keep pointing the finger at the law, bro. But they are asking him to dance. And essentially his dance skills have came from the amount of times they done forced this boy to dance. Yo, this is crazy. So if you didn't have immunity prior to, is that what you are saying? That you feel like blank? He didn't have immunity prior to blank. Immunity came Friday, right when I went to jail. The immunity only came after Mr. Melnick. Hold on. The immunity came after Mr. Melnick sent us an email saying my client is pleading the fifth. That was on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. Okay, so after that, that was an emphatic. He is pleading the fifth. We came, we got this signed. And then Friday morning came. Okay. So between Friday evening, Mr. Melnick reached out to us, said he represents him. He's pleading the fifth. Okay, and when was the last time you talked to him before Mr. Melnick got involved? We talked to him earlier that day on Thursday. Okay, and then how did blank speaks inaudibly to Mr. Copeland? What the fuck? He called me. Okay, I was just trying to get a timeline. Sure, right. So we have been talking since last Friday. So I met with Mr. Copeland last Friday, I think out in the neighborhood. Then he came on Tuesday for court. We talked briefly on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday he came. Thursday. She went and met up with Copeland in his neighborhood? That's crazy. Out in the neighborhood. What? Miss Hilton went to meet with Copeland in what neighborhood? They geeking. Salute to everybody in here, straight up on a late night. Tap the like button for me. Help me get to 200, y'all. I popped up just to be able to go over this with y'all. Straight up. We grinding it out, man. Straight up. I'm in here, orange bow ties, hunting mode. Shit, fuck what's wrong with you? Don't get in the target, man. Straight up. Yo, Ms. Hilton. No, I think he only came 2 days, so it had to be Wednesday and Thursday he came. It wasn't Tuesday. It was Wednesday and Thursday he came. And then on Thursday, once we left, is when Mr. Melnick reached out to us and said, my client is pleading the fifth. And at that point, it was when the next morning and got the immunity motion. And then we spoke on Friday morning. I handed Mr. Copeland this agreement and let him know that he has immunity and that anything he says we can't use. And then Mr. Melnick came, and then we had court. So you're pretty much saying, so you're pretty much saying you didn't ask for this? I didn't, but we gave it. He doesn't have to ask for it. I know. I mean, he's just saying, right. He doesn't have to ask for it, but to alleviate whatever his concerns were, we gave him immunity. No, that make him look bad, though. He didn't have to ask for it, so if he wouldn't have had this, I'm just saying this is so he can understand it. I'm walking him through. My bad. Would he still have had to testify, or would he have had been able to plead the fifth? That's what he's saying. If he did not have immunity, yes. Yes, he could plead the fifth. That's what I'm saying. That's what he's trying to say. So they lined him up by giving him immunity so he couldn't plead the fifth, y'all. And Woody figured it out. Damn. Yeah, y'all tap the like button. Salute to everybody in here. Help me get to 200 real quick. He's trying to say he didn't ask for this, but he doesn't have to ask for it. Now that we have given it to him, because that's on us. So now that we have given it to him, it's in order. He can still choose if he's blank, if this is the road he wants to take, and he'll just stay in custody until the trial is over. And when we say the trial is over, every last defendant has been tried. Not just these 6, the other ones too. That's crazy, Mr. Copeland. I done did longer time. I ain't scared of you, bitch. You Whoopi Goldberg looking bitch. He went hard on him real quick. All right, Mr. Copeland, calm down. Don't call her Whoopi no more. I'm telling you that you are literally immune from prosecution. Calm down. From anything you may say, that's that. Now, don't call her Whoopi no more, though. Her feelings gonna be fucked up, bro. What? Silly. What? Stop. So the choice is always up to you. But we wanted to put on the record the state does not want you in custody. What the state would like you to do is purge yourself from blank. What purge yourself mean? Meaning that you are no longer in custody. And the way that you purge yourself is to testify. That is kind of how it happens. And that is what the state wants you to do. Why the fuck they got smooth sentences now? We don't want you in custody. I can't say that any other different way. But we don't want you in custody. The only thing that's holding you is you refusing to testify, the court. So do you have any questions? Any other questions? Basically, if you invoke the fifth, blank. Here we go with the fuckery. Mr. Copeland, I don't trust blank. I don't trust blank. I don't know what's going on. I don't trust nobody. I trust her word, but I don't know what's going on, Your Honor. This is your insurance. Whoa. I don't know if you want to break that down to him. Well, he doesn't want that, but he's been given it. See, that's the challenge, Mr. Copeland, is that if they didn't give you the immunity, you could invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege. Exactly. He understands that, but y'all forced him the immunity so he couldn't. Y'all think y'all slick. So technically, y'all keep trolling him by keep spinning on him. He understand. But what the state decided is they said your testimony is worth more to them at this point in time, and they really want to know what you have to say. Exactly. They want his testimony because they needed to make a case. They don't care about his life or his well-being or the law. So they framed it up like the boy needed immunity. The boy said he don't want no damn immunity, so he could plead the fifth, which would actually save him, and he wouldn't need no immunity in the first place. So have made blank from the state's perspective. They have made a decision to give you immunity, so you no longer can invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege. Exactly. You have to testify. So that's the difference in this particular scenario. Is that they have taken away blank. Well, you can still invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege. You still can do that, but the consequence of invoking it is you will just remain in custody. So if you testify, you get out of custody, and you stay out of custody until you're done. And then if I don't testify, I have to stay in until when? Until the trial is over. Until all the defendants have been tried. I've got these 6 that we have right now. And then there's another 6. So what are your little bitch ass gonna sit in there? I mean, basically until one of the motherfucking IF niggas get to you. So I mean, what you wanna do? You gonna get on the stand or not? Well, I'm gonna let them niggas eat you. Straight up. You on the plate. You know what time it is, what you wanna do. So Miss Hilton Holland, no, there's another 12. There's another 12, or there's about that are still outstanding in various forms or another. Hold on, what the fuck she talking about? Hold on. What she mean there's another 12? That's cap. Can I speak with her for a second? Yeah, sure. So all of them left the chambers at 10:17 and returned at 10:33. Left Woody and the lawyer in there, I believe. My question is blank. I can ask you a question? Yes. So my question is blank. So what I was just asking her was, if you ask me a question and you feel as and I was lying about it, you will lock me back up? No. If you blank, you are saying, you say, I didn't talk to Demekion. Well, no, I can't talk about that because the judge is in here. You are asking, for example, if you said before that the sky was blue, and I asked you on the stand, what color is the sky? And you say, I said it was red. I'm going to say no, back before you said it was blue. Is that what you are trying to ask me? So explain the independent evidence. If he says he did something and you know he's not telling the truth, what happens? If he said he did something and he did not do that thing, if you believe he did not, so if you believe that he's lying about that, then no. If he admits to doing something, yo, they is finessing. What the fuck? It's dirty. Imagine a nigga ain't had no lawyer. This finesse is crazy, bro. Yo, they talking with dudes, yo, who get bottled up. All right. What is it called, yo, when you get frustrated? When the stuff somebody explaining to you or a group of people is talking about, you don't understand, but it's pertaining to you. Like, coerced. Nah. I'm talking about, like, it's this thing that people do, yo. They get overwhelmed. It's like it's almost like you putting a person in a corner. They start locking up. Like you can physically see people when it start happening. Like if you start discouraged, it's like a combination, but it's like it's some words that describe the combo. Discouraged would be one of the elements. Flustered, yeah, all of this. And it comes from a person. They lash out at the lack of understanding what's going on, and it's a response. And don't get it twisted. I got this. If you keep repeating or playing with me in a certain situation, technically you can. Yeah. Now I'm gonna say mine might be a little bit different, but like I be telling y'all, I don't want to separate myself from Woody that much because I don't want to be ignorant and trying to make it like I ain't crazy. Fuck it. If me and him do got some similarities, even though I don't think they that close, but real shit. I get that. Like, bro, this is frustrating. This frustrating what they doing right here. And the law use these type tactics when they be interrogating on you or asking you questions, even in certain situations where you just pulled over. The style of the questions the police will ask you, like say they pull you over, you got a couple people in the car. The way they'll separate you and try to pull something out of y'all, like as far as like, they just try to make some type of case out of nothing though. They just get aggressive and ask questions that technically could get you flustered and turn into some other shit. Childish? Ugh. I'll accept that, but that's tough. Because I don't know if that's a fair assessment of it because it's somebody really playing with you, bro. Like, clearly, this is a tug of war for what people want, and they got a human in the middle. And yo's lack of legalese and whatever the hell he done got himself involved in and has him obligated to work with the state has got this shit. This ain't regular, y'all. All right, the education level. Let's really assess that. Yeah. Yep. What we doing? What we giving them? Nah, strip that. It's manipulating when you talking about somebody that has a regular, suitable adult education, but they just not privy to legalese. That's what y'all talking about. That's manipulating when it's a fully coherent adult that really can understand, you know, the dynamics of law without knowing legalese though to a certain level, right? Even though the average civilian put in this situation right here, yo, they folding. I don't give a fuck what if you ain't go to law school. Matter of fact, lawyers are folding in this situation. To be honest, like on some old flustered, unless they really got that shit in them. Seriously, this could break the average person. Seriously, you got took in the back chambers, bro. Think about that. You got took in the back chambers, y'all, for a secret meeting. Think about that shit. Manic issues. That's what that is. So they doing it on purpose. They triggering the very things that they know is gonna set them off. Cause if I'm conscious to this shit, I just ain't know what it was called. But yeah, you could see it in niggas' faces, like in the studio. Certain niggas, I told y'all, I might be in the studio, a nigga in there rapping, and I erase that shit. Yo, do it again, and I can see on the nigga face, this nigga really mad about that shit. See, the average nigga look at me like, yo, what the fuck you mean you erased it? You feel me? And then I'm like, nah, yo, you could do it better. They like, oh, all right, say less. A nigga who off a little bit, like that's what I call it. He'll look at me with like the dog face, like turn his head a little bit, like, nigga, you erase that shit? Like, seriously, y'all, it's a different look. Real shit. Bumpers is trying to get them to say they going to get him for perjury if he lies. They took him to a comfy interrogation room and good at, bad at, and what? What? Yeah. Well, just a good thing with it, Burberry. You got niggas like me that be with niggas like your son, right? Or your peoples. Listen, this is what I tells them niggas. Ain't nothing wrong with you, cuz. So once I get them convinced that ain't nothing really wrong with them, I tell him, well, this might only work because I get them to look at me. Look, yo, I ain't perfect, but look, I know how to do certain shit good. Now, I get them to believe that about themselves. So I feel like everybody like that, y'all. Ain't no, ain't nobody really off. Everybody got some shit going on. Straight up, straight up. So now we know, everybody knows what's, when it goes to the level of, hold up, nah, bro, this not that right here. This is different. But I'm talking about the average assessment. Like, yo, I done seen some people who allegedly, they might, like, Woody, yeah, we saying this about y'all. But I'm going to have to say, for Holmes to make it this far, Holmes ain't that off. Real rap. So, like, it's I don't know. It's crazy how that shit work. Niggas just trying to started to upload the transcripts. Now somebody had it up before me. Well, they posted it. I ain't gonna say they read it. I mean, but you know how that shit go, man. I wasn't in no rush. If that was the case, I would have speed read this bitch. We really need to assess it. All right. Man. And you have independent evidence to prove it wasn't him? Whoa. I'm not gonna say, is this the first time you're saying that? And you have what? Then nothing. What do you mean? Like, so then he will be fine. Yes. So you are okay with him if he got on the stand and said things that weren't true? No. I want him to tell the truth. What have I always said to you? I want you to tell the truth. I don't know what's going to come out your mouth. I expect you to tell the truth. If you say something that is inconsistent with what you said before, then I'm going to ask about the inconsistencies. But I expect you to tell the truth. What what you go on the stand and do, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do. I want to tell you, I want you to tell the truth, but I will deal with you not blank. You not saying something different in the manner that I normally do. You saying something different. See, yeah, they type this shit chopped up on purpose at certain points, bro. If I'm saying something different, right? So when the police question me, they didn't question me every time they locked me up. I don't know how many times that was. I done told them whatever different story I could think of to try to finesse my way out of the situation. I don't know. I don't recall what I done told them. Okay, so you can say I don't recall. That is how that works. I don't recall. And he can say that to every single question. I would hope that is not the truth, because I think there are some things you do recall and some things you don't. But the things you don't recall, you don't recall. And then I will go through my process of what I do. You can talk to him about what impeachment is. That won't get you locked up. Impeachment will not get you locked up. You can talk to him about what impeachment is. If he says, I don't recall, what will get me locked up? What did I tell you? I don't know. What you did on Friday, I plead the fifth if the court instructs you. So the only thing that gets me locked up is pleading the fifth? Yes. The court instructs you. You need to answer the questions. You say again, I plead the fifth. Again, that's what you're going to get you locked up. But if you answer the question, that will not get you locked up. Man, what the fuck? Telling on your op, accept it. Not not where I'm at, but in certain situations it is. Allegedly, that's art of war. I believe that's in the art of war, bro. I don't really condone it, because, you know, all right. So if you don't want me in jail, why you just don't let me go after the trial over with? You're in jail because you are not answering the questions, because you have been given immunity. because you have been given immunity. You are only in jail because you got up here. What? Well, what about this? I answer the questions. You take away immunity. I answer the questions, and I plead the fifth. No. To questions that I feel incriminate me. But then that's blank. I won't plead the fifth to things that don't incriminate me. The state can still give you immunity. They can give you immunity to whoever they want, okay? And they can make that choice. I don't even make that choice. So if they, like I said earlier, they want your testimony, they figure it's blank, that the jury needs to hear what you have say, good, bad, or indifferent. And what Ms. Hilton is telling you is just tell the truth as you know it and let her worry about it. I mean, even though you may have said different versions or whatever, that's for impeachment. That's not going to get you in trouble. So we learned impeachment don't get you in trouble. That's good to know. Because I was damn sure confused. They kept saying it like it was a big deal. And I'm sitting here like, bro, I don't think that shit even irrelevant. Ain't nobody, like, nobody ain't scared. Niggas keep getting impeached. That sound like the way to go. Straight up. Yeah, bro. What happened in court today? Shit, I got impeached. Oh, hell yeah. You kept it real then, my nigga. What you do? I ain't for real. I just stalled him out. Went in that bitch and kept it funky Cold Medina on them hoes. Hell yeah. You know, don't recall this. Don't recall that. You know how a nigga supposed to do. Keep pushing P on them hoes. What's wrong with you? Yo, what happened in court? Impeached like a motherfucker. Impeached like Bill Clinton. You know what I mean? Monica Lewinsky shit, you heard? Bro. What is the fucking point then? What will get you in trouble is you just invoking your Fifth Amendment privilege because you have been given immunity. Or as Ms. Love said this morning, remember, Ms. Love said if you overtly lie about something, like if you tell a bold-faced whopper, then they can indict you on that particular charge. I mean, that particular false statement. A bold-faced whopper. She crazy as shit. Mr. Copeland, that's what they're going to do. That is what I was saying. You will be right back here. But if you say something that you know you did not do, like you admit to something you know you did not do, whether you blink, what the fuck is that? Why she keep doing that? Like murder? Don't have, whoa. Like no statute of limitations, right? Whoa, cuz. Chill. What the fuck? Where's lawyer at? What the fuck wrong with you, boy? This nigga crazy. This nigga crazy. What? Yeah, this boy got a 4th grade education. This nigga ain't watched no fucking Matlock. He ain't watched First 48 or nothing. Whoa, cuz. Yo don't even know what he just did right there. Bro. Fuck that come from, cuz? Seriously, y'all, where the fuck did that come from? Yo interjected that shit for no reason. Yo, if I was in that bitch, bro, I might have threw a book at him if I was his lawyer or some shit. Like, all jokes is like, fuck the statement, throw a book at a nigga. I'm talking about, like, really, if I was beside the book cabinet, fucking encyclopedia right there, I know he'll shut the fuck up. What the fuck? Cuz has lost his damn mind. Nah, he don't know nothing about the law if he knows statute of limitations. That phrase is pretty popular, Kashawn. I'm gonna keep it real. The streets say that. For real. Even though they don't know the correct dates of the statute of limitations, like niggas barely know like the real time. Niggas know the phrase though. Niggas will say it. Nah, yo, shit, statute of limitations. Like shit. Cap. Cap. Yo, this boy is a wild turkey though. What made him say that? But if you say something that you know you did not do, like you admit to something you know you did not do, whether you like murder, don't have like no statute of limitations, right? Yo just jumped out of context right there. That's saying he guilty. Like it's no other way to take that. Yo smoked somebody and he trying to check if at some point he could rest his nerves. That's crazy.
Hey, where the posted nigga at right now?
What's going on with Posted?
Hold on, posted came up.
I ever see EBAN, I'ma break that nigga face.
Yeah, I can't give posted back to late night. That ain't
That's
happening.
the only thing that means.
No.
The only time you ask a DA, so like murder, like that ain't got no statute of limitations, right? You know what come after that, right? Why? Who's asking? The fuck wrong with you? Bro. Yo. You got hypothetical some shit like that. You gotta say, yo, like what happened if OJ Simpson never was charged? Like, could they charge him now? Like, yo, I got this uncle, right? Now they say he smoked this hooker a long time ago. If they found DNA, could they charge him now? Straight up. But it if you didn't do it, I can't charge you with something you didn't do. Hold on, let me keep it moving. But y'all don't like what? I don't have any other evidence but you saying it. Yo, she thinks she's slick. Keep saying that though, bro. Don't trust her, Woody. She lining you up. She keep telling that nigga, no, I can't charge you unless I got some other evidence. I hope he hear. I hope he hear. Because she keeps saying it. But she's saying it reverse. She keeps saying, no, unless I got some other evidence. Then that being yes, bitch. Seriously, she thinks she's slick. That's the second time she done did that. No, I can't charge you for it unless I got some other evidence. Like, oh, you answering it wrong then. Oh, man, that's some bullshit. Look, he confused, but y'all don't like. You can charge him with false statements and he will be back in jail. That is what I'm trying to say. But if I know that you are lying about that, and I do not intend to do that, if I know right now he's lying, I know he's lying. I'm not going to charge you because I don't know your reason for doing that. But I'm not going to charge you. Hold on, yo. What the fuck is wrong with all this double talking? I know you didn't do what you are trying to say you did now, and that can be a part of this. I know you didn't do it. What the fuck is going on? Yo. Yo. If I'd have heard somebody talk, right, it's normally easy to get into, a pattern. She don't repeat herself as much as this shit been. Nah, hell no. She don't start and stop in mid sentence and rephrase, and she do not this damn often. Facts, MB. LaDana, Yoden denied. Yoden, hold on. Let's get this clear. What it sound like Holmes done said so far in here is, Yo got something they don't know about that's not a body that he worried about from 2015. There must be something that got some time on it, but it ain't a body. But I ain't gonna lie, there's some other charges that can get you some pretty heavy time that ain't bodies. So technically, if it only held 5 years, what the fuck was it? All right, he done admitted to that, basically. He didn't just admit it to another body. Fuck nut. He didn't basically admit it to another body that he's scared about. He ain't talking about nut. I'm hard stamping. He ain't talking about nut the way he just said that. He talking about some whole other shit the way he just brought that bitch out of left field. Seriously. He worried about another body, y'all. He clearly said, what about a murder? And Shorty ain't even, like, her context didn't even call. Like, it's like he was trying to allude to it somehow, and he just fumbled. He just spilled it. Yeah. What about a body, though? Like, seriously, y'all. Like, seriously. He damn near admitted it. There's no other way to interpret that. Seriously. No other way. Like, murder don't have, like, no statute of limitations, right? Meaning, so I need to, that's why I need to be cautious right now. All right. I don't think we got to the bold part with him blatantly saying the part about Donovan Thomas. But hold on though. He might be misled by somebody that told him that shit on the street, y'all. So if somebody tell you got immunity, right? The average ignorant person gonna say, then bro, you could just claim that you did the nut shit, just like we all did. Because technically it sound good, right? Well, the way his other testimony is defending Thug in certain ways, y'all, I'ma say he leaning towards trying to help them boys. Straight up. It didn't seem he ain't the only one. I don't know if they getting paid or what, but goddamn Tick, DK, and goddamn Woody is giving me impressions that they doing the little things they need to do to separate Thug from being in the gang. And it almost feel like they've been told to do that. Like at certain points, just do this. Just say he ain't in the gang. It looked like somebody even told them to denounce the gang themselves. Real rap. Because all three of them consistently just threw dirt all on the gang shit. Straight up. And Thug being a part of it. Straight up. Like, I'm talking about strategically, though. I don't know which one did it. Who did it? Woody did it the best. Woody did it in real life, though. Hold on. Hold. Woody did it in 2015. Now, I took him serious when he said that shit. He said it multiple times in different ways, y'all. That he wasn't jacking that gang shit. Straight up. Multiple ways he said it. Multiple ways. Nah, Bean did him dirty because Bean said they was in a gang and they was deep as shit. Bean said he was scared of them niggas because they were deep as shit, and he said they was in the gang. And he did it like the old heads, like, man, I ain't fucking with them, they wild. Young niggas like, yeah, he threw him kind of under the bus, bro. All three of them said the police just want Thug. I'm gonna have to say, after seeing the flying car, I agree. That was just too out of pocket, bro. That was, I mean, it's too early in his career. That boy wasn't even out of goddamn Cleveland Avenue yet. And they was trying to line that boy up with something that would have had his ass in jail to now. For real. Well, nah, shit, you could get put away for life for that charge. Seriously. Seriously. If they ain't do that stuff they did, all of them would have been locked up for the rest of their life, y'all. Yes, sir. Them boys had attempts on police and that. All right, so let's get back to it. So the court, I don't have anything to do with that. He has nothing to do with bringing charges. That's up to the state of Georgia. Can I call? Can I talk to my family? And I would make my decision right after I hang up the phone. Whoa. Why is he in this situation like this, bro? He ain't got no man. This shit don't make no sense, bro. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. He does not have no open charges, y'all. Like what? Now a nigga calling home. This something ain't right. And look, this the weird part of it, though. All the people that's back there know that this shit corrupt. You feel me? Like they know that's not the normal procedure, bro. They know anything like this could get cases overturned and all that. They know that, bro. Come on, bro. That quote, come on, bro. All they do is go through case law all the time, reading over hiccups and technicalities, bro. Come on, bro. We ain't dumb. I done said this shit in the beginning, yo. I said, yo, anybody, any mistakes and little things that he doing, yo, I mean, these people too seasoned. I mean, you might make certain mistakes, but then you got people covering your ass. Everybody up here working in teams. Think about that, y'all. Everybody up here working with a team member. Like what? Rod got the only chick working by herself, and I doubt she is. If worse come to worse, do you think Thug would have no choice but to take the stand and clear his name? Hell no, that nigga, nah. Defendant never get on the stand. TV show shit. Even on the TV, we ain't even putting the defendant. That's a rule, bro. Never. You talking about lawyers quitting cases because the nigga want to get on the stand. Hell no. Look, man, nah. I could line you up, bro, and you ain't even do shit. That's why they tell you not to get on the stand. A lawyer is prepared to line up an honest person, bro. Yeah, you telling the truth. I can trick you into seeming guilty, though, by you being so gullible up this bitch thinking you just coming to tell truth. Nah, you ready to get tripped up into some shit, and I framed it to make you look guilty. You was being honest, but I walked you into this little yeah. Now, you mean your your team can't save you now because I done made you look some type of way. Now the lawyer got to try to reverse it on a yeah. That ain't nah. That's why, bro. It's English allows you to play with it too much. They beat and finesse your ass up there. It ain't really about you not being able to tell truth or you gonna look bad in character. Nah, it's the way that them words work. Straight up. That's the real reason. It ain't even about guilt. It's the fact that in that courtroom, your ass could get lined the fuck up. Even with truth. Like you really didn't do it. Now we got you on the stand. Now you giving us your real alibi of what happened that night. And then I just let you keep talking. Woo woo woo. Then I get into a little bit of your background. Bam bam bam. Open up the door. Ask you about some old controversial shit real quick. Now you don't even know where I'm going. You being honest because it ain't got shit to do with it. Whole time I'm just trying to establish character on your ass. Got your ass looking shabby as a motherfucker. You being honest about all this other shit. Whole time that's you being real with telling the truth. Y'all just took an oath. I'm gonna be honest. You ever been fired from work? Yeah, for what happened? I mean, I got hired before. They fired, did a drug test. Woo woo woo. You being honest. I changed my life though. All this shit, man. I do 2-3 days of this shit. Whole time, all I'm doing is just putting that shade on your ass. You understand? That's all. At the minute, you gonna feel some type of way. So you getting a little bit cranky up there. Got you where I want you. You ain't do this shit though, bro. Seriously, you ain't do it. boyfriend. You know how that type shit go. If it's already lined up for it to look like it could have been that, it's easy for them to press it. So let your ass get up there being honest Joe, thinking this court system gonna look out for you. That's why it's really people locked up that went in there and really went to trial, y'all. Seriously. Innocent. Just went up there bold. No, I ain't doing it. Ain't no way they gonna be able to find me guilty. And I ain't doing it. Shit. What? Boy. But let's go ahead and max out though, y'all. They lining this boy up though. They really lining him up. His sister just called us. What? He's saying he hasn't been able to speak to anybody. His sister just called us. She blank. Y'all done me wrong. Y'all just hold me in jail. Don't let me get no PIN number, no nothing. Damn. We have no knowledge. We did not know that you blank. He hasn't been able to do anything, speak to anyone. The jail system down, but y'all still putting people in. Yo, he funny as shit. That part I don't know. I know we have been in communication with your sister. Your sister actually texted Miss Lance Sequat. What? Whoa. What? To make sure you were okay. We told her we physically had laid eyes on you. I'll leave that up to the sheriffs. I don't know. What? So what you think was she saying? I can tell you right now. I'm talking about what locking me back up. What? We would have to bring charges. There would be no incentive. Y'all will. We already had this discussion. Look what you did to me. You waited until Friday and did this. I done told you every day before Friday came that I was pleading the fifth. No, you did not. As a matter of fact, our last blank. Mr. Copeland, let's see if we can get beyond this, okay? Beyond what your concern is. You could have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege. The state could have turned around and said, stop, had me go ahead and file that motion and given you immunity. It was going to blank. I mean, they make that decision. They decided to make it on Friday. So even if you would have been more comfortable testifying and invoking your Fifth Amendment privilege, they could decide you as a witness. They want your testimony more than they do invoking your Fifth Amendment privilege, so they give you immunity. They gave you immunity, so you've got to testify truthfully as to what your knowledge of the particular incident is. I mean, so they were going to blank. They could have done that anyway. Even if they put you on the stand, they could have said, stop, and gone ahead and given you immunity. They could have done that. Bro. So can I get in some type of writing that if I was to testify, that if she feels as in I'm lied about anything, that they won't lock me back up? Let me have that, Miss Bumpus. Hands document to the court. Mr. Copeland on page 2 of the order pursuant. However, no testimony given by Kenneth Copeland as required under this order, or any information directly or indirectly derived from the testimony of Kenneth Copeland given by Kenneth Copeland as required under this oath shall be used against said Kenneth Copeland. What the hell? Okay, so you testify about some aggravated assault or murder. They can't prosecute you on it because that is what it says on the order. Oh. Okay, the only thing that will get you in trouble is this next little paragraph. Kenneth Copeland shall be subject to prosecution or to penalty or forfeiture for any perjury, false swearing, or contempt committed in testifying or failing to testify in accordance with this order. However, it is ordered that Kenneth Copeland shall not be required to produce evidence that can be used in any other courts in this state, the United States, or any other state. So basically, if you commit perjury, false swearing, or contempt committed in testifying, that means if you just invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege or failing to testify, you say, I'm not going to testify. All right, so the only real, this is bullshit. It's making me fidgety right now, reading it. This is bullshit. All right, so the only two real things you can kind of get in trouble for are perjury and false swearing, as long as you tell the truth. I'm mad about this, man. I'm about to power read this shit. Hold on, y'all. They keep saying the same thing over. Lieutenant Dean, we have a security issue. We need to stop for a minute. If we can stop for a second, please. What the fuck happened? Glanville and Lieutenant Dean exited the chambers. I don't know what was told to you on Friday. I have no reason to want you in prison. You have spent enough time in prison for YSL, period. What? That's illegal to say. Where the proof of that? When did he spend time in jail for YSL, y'all? I'm power reading, y'all. I'm going to read. I'm gonna tell y'all the important parts. Hold on, y'all. Let me breeze through. Let me make sure it ain't because they keep repeating themselves. Y'all. I'm tired of reading that shit. It's giving me some type of anxiety or some shit. Whoa. But what do I expect for you to do is answer questions so we can get through this. So you can go home, be with your baby for her birthday, see these dogs deliver their babies, go talk to your nephews, and do all the other things. How you know about my dogs? Because you told me. Oh. Yo. Yo was about to pop her about them dogs, though. It was just about to be too far. How the fuck? Yo. Why I feel like she lied? She holla, because you told me. She guessed like a motherfucker, bro. Miss Bump is as Woody. What's wrong? He holla, I'm stressing at another level. Like, I mean, can he blank? I'm saying, Mr. Copeland, I'm weak. Man, I'm not playing. I'm dead serious, man. Like, this is what our position is. We do not want him in custody. We want him to tell the truth. If he decides in 2 weeks he wants to testify, then what? If he wants to stay in jail for 2 weeks, then that's, yeah. He just feel like he's under a lot of pressure right this second. Even at the jail, they are just, can't give me house arrest. No, you can go home by taking a stand and testifying. That's what and come back tomorrow. We keep on saying yet, but there is no crime. We keep on saying yet. I don't know who is telling you about a crime. There is no crime. You have done nothing wrong except for, so why am I in jail then? Because you aren't testifying. But that ain't nothing wrong. It's not a crime. It's not a crime, but you're in civil contempt. Two things. Because yeah, they playing with him, y'all. You can't sentence me. There's no sentence. There is no sentence. Yeah, they playing with y'all. This is total buffoonery, y'all. And they got busted. It's nothing to charge him with. He don't understand what the word purge means versus perjury. And they keep using these types of terms. Real rap, like he asking, what purge mean? They explain it, and then he say, what about the other one? The other word, perjury. They say that's different. They holler that can get me back in. He holler that could get me back in jail. They holler yes. It's like, yo, oh, what the fuck he say? He should so long as he remains. But if you get up there and be like, if you get up there testifying, get into it and you start saying, I pleaded fifth, we're going to be back here again. But if he says he don't recall to everything, he'll be okay. I'm not advising that. But so long as he answers the question, that's fine. So as long as I did these crimes, I'm telling you that. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but I think you are saying you want to get up there on the stand and say something. Copeland, no response. Did we find out if he could talk to his family? No. I mean, if it's okay, we got the sister's number. As my attorney, you gotta let me, if y'all want to talk, let me go somewhere where I can't hear you. The judge is over there, so just speak low so he doesn't hear you. Hold on. Judge Glanville handed a document to Attorney Caleb Bumpus exited chambers with Assistant District Attorney Simone Hilton, Investigator Long, from 10:53 to 11:28. Okay, all right, Mr. Copeland, have you had an opportunity to talk with Ms. Bumpus, your lawyer, and Ms. Hilton, the state's counsel? Have you got any other questions? No, Your Honor. Is it your desire to give testimony today? Yes, sir. Okay, all right then. Do you all have some clothes for him? I don't know. Let me go take a look. What size are you? I can't hear you. What size are you? Little. What?
Hey, where the posted nigga at right now?
What's going on with posted?
Hold on, posted came up.
I have to see EBAN. I'm gonna break that nigga face.
Hey, I can't give posted back to late night. That ain't happening. No, 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 no.
Because I know you posted.
He just posted up.
Just posted up out here.
And yo, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment letting us know if Thugger is going to make out, or are they going to cook him like cheap
I ain't
chicken?
never heard that shit. I don't think I ever heard that. What size are you? I can't hear you. What size are you? Little. We had a large jacket for him on Friday. Large. You had a jacket for him? Yes. Oh, but he can't wear large. What is your waist size? 34? 32. Chest, what are you? A 34? 34, 36 chest? Probably 30. What the fuck? That nigga came out with a t-shirt, bro. Who the fuck measuring niggas' chests for t-shirts? I ain't never went in the store like, yo, let me get a 34, 36 chest. The fuck is that? Nigga, I be wearing button-ups. I still ain't checking that part, nigga. Let me see. Let me see that bitch. Yeah, this bitch a fit. Boy said little. I ain't never heard nobody say that as a response to the size. Yo, that's funny. Remember them pants he had on the first day he came in there? Them bitches were smeggins, wasn't they? She hollered. Look, Hilton sized him up. She hollered, he had 36. Not in my chest. What you mean? That nigga hollered. Hilton hollered. He probably a 36. Woody holler, not in my chest. What you mean? Yo, say he ain't got no 36 bra. Yo, it's Tough Tony in that bitch. The court holler, size. What size are you? Small or medium? Small or medium? What size is you? Small or medium? Small or medium? They're going to try to get you some clothes so you don't have to testify wearing that jail uniform, all right? Y'all don't want to show the people how y'all did me? Look, if we can't find clothes, then you may have until tomorrow. I prefer you go in like this. I prefer to go in like this. I understand what your preference is. Nah, don't hide it. Can you make him put on clothes? No. I want to go in there like this. Fine with me. All right. Okay. You ain't going to try and lock me back up for this. So long as you testify, we will get an order to get you released today. Who copy is this? You got to make sure you come back now. I want to be real clear. When have I ever ran? You have not. That's the only thing. You have not. Whose copy is this? That was ours. Do you want a copy? You can make it though. Okay. Do you still have yours or you threw it away? I'm going to give him both of these things so he can have some information. Okay. Are we off the record now? Are we done? Yes, I believe so. Okay, we're good. See everybody downstairs in about 10 minutes. Whoa, Christina, that's how your signature is? Come on, lady. That ain't, that that look like somebody forged it. Yo. He can't buy clothes. Bro, they had him locked up, bro. What you talking about, bro? That boy got clothes. They took his shit. Now they trying to give him something so he can go testify right now in court after they done had him locked up over the weekend. They don't want him to be in jail clothes, but he's saying, nah, I want to wear the jail clothes. He rocked out on them. To be honest, he a gangster a little bit, but not really, because he still went in that room and finessed them people with all of that information. Yo, finessed them with information. I mean, I guess you had to ask the people themselves, like, yo, was he telling the truth about you? Now, that's crazy. What if somebody did an interview with everybody he mentioned? And they said, nah, yo, that nigga was lying. Like, were you ever questioned about that? Hell no. That nigga was bold-faced lying, bro. Like, it's hell no, they ain't come talk to me. That nigga funny as shit for even mentioning my name, because it's no way. What if everything lined up like that, y'all? Like, when they did their research, yo didn't put the names in the wrong spots, basically just fucked they whole shit up. Because technically, that's what he did with the nut situation. Technically, by giving them the lead and them jumping on it, he fucked their case up. I don't know, Dana. That's a good question. Yeah, how did the people in the chat know what was going on? Because they was privy. It was chirping in that courthouse that morning. If I still got the live stream up, you could see how people was coming in. It wasn't, it was at least, I'm going to have to say, it wasn't just one person reporting on what was going on in there. That was more than one person. When it's one person, it might be a little bit of people that come in talking about it. That day, I'm going to have to say, it had to been like, all the chats in other live streams had to been talking about what's going on in that building. I'm going to tell y'all, at the rate people was coming in talking about that shit. He finessed them, y'all. They was dumbass police that was going for anything, and every time he would give them little tidbits that they even considered to be something they could go for, they would let him back out on the streets, knowing that he wasn't going to be hard to find, and that at least bit he would just get in some more trouble and wind up having to talk to him anyway. So they knew exactly what they was doing, but technically he was finessing them, and then they only gave him a couple months. Remember, y'all, they wanted him to tell about Nut. They gave him a couple months. That boy caught a goddamn charge by what? June? So they gave his ass 6 months. And he was a victim of some shit. And they still, you know what I mean, lined his ass up. And I don't care what nobody tell me. When we read them transcripts, that was the final draw. That shit is a whole nother description of how they pulled up on that boy and who was at the other meeting. Now, in the original statement, it just tell me that the police, when Woody was in the back of the car, he asked to call Gaither. They called Gaither. When they got down to the goddamn station, Gaither pulled up and they wound up letting Woody go and didn't charge him with the gun. That's what it said. Now, when you read the testimony and they get to really chopping it up, and you understand how many goddamn police was at the gym and at the stadium, nigga, there's no explanation for this, just as well as there's no explanation for why all these police had an interest in Donovan Thomas's homicide and not nobody else. I don't think is Woody smarter than they expected. The police tactics are weaker than we think. That's really the culprit. Yeah. So they forced to allow criminals back out on the street so they can put them in a position where they have to give them information, y'all. I swear. Y'all don't see that recurring theme? Eventually he gonna break because either, something gonna fold in the circle. You know what I mean? Whether or not he don't want to go back to the jail because niggas on his ass. Or he got a charge that won't allow him to go to the jail. So we, put pressure on him, let him back out, catch another charge, and now we like, yo, you want to talk now? So if we notice in all of these little cities, you'll keep hearing about, damn, bro, Holmes shouldn't been out on the streets. They letting guys go to so they can get another charge, so it's more leverage, and we gonna smash them or get them to tell. And it's like each one of our cities, they got a certain amount of dudes in each zone that they keep that cycle going. That person gonna get out there, he gonna play with pistols. They know that's gonna create a certain type of temperature. They know this person, he play with the drugs. They know that's gonna, yeah. Woody seems like they try to put him in that low cycle, and it ain't turned into what they wanted. They was gonna throw you away, cause they know what happened once they use you for a conviction. They know the backside of it. They ain't gonna be able to use you. You basically no good no more. Everybody know you done told. You know you're not really safe. They know this. I mean, his people's got smoked. They know this. He used the word torture when he talk about his people, y'all. Keep in mind. But yeah, only real chance Thug got is when still get to put Woody on stand, which they going to try to object everything. What you mean? That Thug can make it out? I'm on the opposite side of that. I'm on some old Thug I don't even see no witnesses coming on the witness list that can incriminate Thug after this. Seriously, Sam. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I didn't study this witness list, bro. This shit ready to get even further away from Thug now. And I called it earlier. I told nigga, I said, yo, after this nut joint, this shit going distance from Thug. It's no glove. They try to put the glove on Thug with the nut situation, saying he wore the glove, but he touched the phone. He pushed the button, right? So that's what we all was kind of banking. Like that's what the shit was weighing on. For real, this whole thing in the streets was even like, bro, they gonna get him because he pushed the button type shit. And we all as outsiders kind of like, we here now though. They fuck a fumble. Nigga, that was a fumble return. That was a fumble return. You mean? Like, bro. Yo, we up 21. We're in the middle of the third quarter now. Nut was the middle, I consider, right? They did not cross their mark where they needed to be, y'all, which they are losing ground fast. I'm talking about shit start going down fast on the backside. Terrible. Yo, I'ma have to say, I ain't watched too many trials. I don't even think I ever seen a whole trial complete like this one, right? And there ain't too many to compare this to, right? Because of the amount of people and the amount of overt acts. Normally, people plead out on these, or the cameras ain't gonna be there, so it's hard for us to get a view into this, right? But what I will say is, for, aside from this ex parte meeting, I feel strong about a not guilty now, based upon the witness's testimony, excluding Woody. Like you can bring Woody in, he helped too, but I'm talking about I'm gonna disregard Woody testimony because he got all this controversy surrounding him. I'm going off of everybody else that we thought would have. I mean, the impression was all these people that was allegedly outside with Thug or part of YSL would be incriminating. But bro, the more they keep getting up here, we clearly see this. That's not what's going on. Whether they telling the truth or not is irrelevant. Just like Hilton and them said, yo, we just putting it up in front of the jury to see what they believe. Well, if you ask me at this point, bro, they didn't fail to prove any goddamn connection to Thug, and I do not think nobody on that damn jury going to say that boy guilty. Real rap, which kind of start going with the now if the impression of all of them people taking plea deals has some type of effect on the jury to make them think that that must mean these people guilty too. I don't know about that. I don't think they would do that. But let's take it into consideration. They really was dependent on Woody, y'all. They had other testimonies that was based on that. I mean, if you was in the live stream earlier, you seen Holmes is in the chat. Now, the reason why I was keep playing dumb is because technically I don't know how that worked with the court. You was supposed to pull up and you didn't, but maybe he wasn't. Maybe it wasn't that type of obligation. All promo. Yeah. Essentially, he the most famous rapper out of Atlanta now. That's a rap. I don't know if y'all knew that. I don't know if y'all knew that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He just jumped over the moon with this shit. Straight up. Like, fuck the music. We talking about face and name and storyline. With his career and this shit, man. And what's gonna come after it, bro. Yo, even that lawyer in the courtroom said that to the Glanville judge. You can't ignore this. Like, you can't miss this case. Remember I kept telling y'all that? I said, yo, honestly, calling that jury for the second trial, how you gonna get a jury that didn't watch the first trial if they don't even know that they gonna get a piece of mail for the second trial? Think about that. So when you asked, yo, were you keeping up with the original trial? Who can say no? So that second group gonna get a whole jury of white people. That's the only people who ain't watching, y'all. If it is real shit, and it got to be from Fulton County. How the hell we start with 28 co-defendants and wind up in court with 6? I ain't gonna lie, that's some of the weirdest shit ever. But yeah, y'all, salute to y'all, man. I'll be back in the morning, man. I thought it was needed to go over that tonight. We made it through. I breezed through the end of it, but we seen the good parts, man. Um, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to the YSL content in the morning, man. Y'all already know. I appreciate y'all pulling up on the late night, man. Straight up. I see y'all in the morning. Have a good night, man. Salute to everybody in here. LaDana, Burberry, Agnes, City Streets, Sports Dad. Who else in here? Sam. Yaya. Yale. Kashawn. Bruce Leroy. What? Tom McGirt. Maddie. Zariah. Park D. Salute to all y'all aces. I see y'all in the morning, yo. Straight up. And remember, I still got that Christopher Copeland paperwork too. I see y'all early. Blue, Bruce, Grease, Rico, Leo,